we're going to go ahead and hop into the server. Looks like knife rounds underway here. We're knifing for sides. It's going to be Mirage as the location of our first streamed debut here.
Now, I do love the in-game chat, which you guys can't see, by the way, but we can see the in-game chat. And they were asking them if they were at LAN, because everyone on Penn State's team has at LAN in their names, except for one player. Magister's the only one who's not here. He's online. I think that's what they were asking. Wait, Magister, are you here? Are you playing online?
He's a rebel. He's a renegade.
Yeah.
He doesn't go with the flow. He doesn't go with the trend. He's a trendsetter himself.
Now, what are your predictions here?
What's my prediction?
Yeah.
I
I know that's kind of a tough question to ask.
I haven't really seen anything out of Penn State that makes me think they're going to be able to handle the magic that is Neptune, Young Gun, Dolphy, and Scruffy, all of those names I'm familiar with. We got Mala, who's going by BPI Sports Macho Mala. Macho Mala. So just because of the familiarity and knowing that the players on Grand Old Party supporters have played at a level that's beyond anything that I've seen the Penn State team play at, my prediction is GOP Sport is going to take it. What the round score is going to look like, I have no idea, to be honest. I really haven't seen Penn State play before. We'll see if they can handle the magic that is this GOP team. You got a prediction for me, Buck?
We're going to have fun.
We're going to have fun.
That's my
We're going to have so much fun.
We're going to have a good time.
Everybody pile into the minivan. We're off to have a good time.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's hard to predict when you're looking at teams, especially when you're looking at, like, say, like a Pug, for instance, compared to potentially a team. I mean, this is Penn State's CS team. Like, I don't know how much practice they put in or what kind of players or teams they compete against. I don't know if they competed in, like, any of the collegiate leagues that are currently ongoing. So part of that's on us. I think a little lack of preparation on our part.
Well, one of the things to consider too.
You told me you were going to do all the research.
All the prep work.
Yeah,
I dug deep into Scav in particular. No, one of the interesting things to consider with a college team, I don't know how much this applies. College year just started up. Do you think they, like a traditional college sports team, do you think they had like camp beforehand?
I don't know. Is there
like
tryouts? Do they have like a coach?
They
and then
get
an
scouted.
assistant coach. Do they have an offensive and defensive coordinator? The offensive coordinator works with them on their strats.
I want to meet with their strength and conditioning coach. Do you think they have a nutrition plan?
You know what? Some teams actually have that.
I mean, it makes sense at a certain level.
Some not necessarily like the college teams, but some professional like CSGO teams now are getting to the point where they have sports psychologists and nutritionists working with the team.
They got a smoothie guy?
Because, and if they don't have a nutritionist, they have someone who's trying to help them just shore up their diet, because the reality is, like most gamers don't really eat a balanced diet. We eat like garbage.
Ramen for every meal?
Yeah, so they want to teach them to be an adult and not eat chicken fingers and spend all of your money and things of that nature.
We'll see if that preparation comes through for Penn State, if they've got that collegiate support. All right, so we swap back. Now we're going to swap in. It's a magic trick, folks, if you never knew. If you want to get a game to start, you cut away from the game, and then it will automatically start.
All pauses come undone the second you try to take a break.
Absolutely. It's the rule of LAN Counter-Strike. Tech pauses. Online, too. So we are going to go into the pistol round. We've got 4 sets of armor on the Penn State side, 1 kit, pretty traditional buy. On the other side, just a little bit of utility to get them on site, smoke and 2 flashes. And it looks like it's a 3-man push into underpass early on, so it's presumably going to be that A crunch, that wrap onto A.
Yeah, right now it's set up to be an A split. They've got the bomb sitting outside of A as well. It's got a flashbang, double flash actually, so they're going to flash the players in towards jungle. They've got 2 players set up in that position. The first one to make contact is going to be Magister, but he goes down. So does Soaring Eagle. Well played from the Grand Old Party supporters. They get into sight. A little bit of team damage being dealt, but they've gotten that lovely bomb plant. So at the very least, money's going to be going their way in the round that follows. It's going to be a 3-on-4 in favor of GOP. One already in sight. Switch, picking off Scruffy, but down he goes as Dolphy hits the headshot. And it'll be a 2-on-2. It's Neptune and Mala against Scav and Memoria. Or is it Memorial? It's got that weird spelling.
I'm going to go with Memorial.
I think it's Memorial.
Hole?
But there's the stick on the bomb, and unfortunately, Neptune's a little bit late to the party. The GOP not able to take down Penn State in the pistol. Due to the fact that they get the bomb plant, though, we should see them buy in the round that follows, or they could even surprise buy here. You know, you're pretty much expecting to see SMGs because they're expecting you to save. So you can kind of go with that, like, well, what if we, like, Mac 10 armor rush B and just catch them off guard?
Dolphy went ahead and purchased up. He's got some utility. The rest of the team's going to be saving around 2K, so they'll be getting guns up in the next. Although I suppose Dolphy will be limited on the SMG. So we'll see how that shakes out early on.
Are they allowed to use the MP5?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Because I was just looking at the SMG buy, and I'm like, why are they buying these? Why didn't they just buy the MP5? But I'm not certain if that's actually enabled for us. I don't know. We'll have to ask.
I know they're being used in like the in the relegation tournament, but not in matchmaking yet, I don't believe. So bomb's going to be planted once more. There's no chance to deny that plant. Dolphy will use his last dying breaths to get the parcel of C4 down. Switches there a moment later, but not quick enough to deny the plant. So 2 plants in a row. GOP supporters going to have themselves a nice buy going into the next, except for Dolphy. Everyone else going to be sitting pretty comfortable. They can get the glass cannon off if they really want it. I'm not expecting it to see it this early on. I'm expecting to see rifles.
Dolphy will be able to buy. He'll be able to get AK armor. So he was down to 750, but with the bomb plant and then the bomb plant round loss money, plus I think he got 2 kills last round. So he was able to total up enough cash that it bumps him just over the line of getting AK armor plus a flashbang.
The 1 flash. And looks like we have a pause coming on. Someone lost their mod mic.
His mic broke. He didn't realize that the mod mic is magnetic and it just reattaches.
Oh, now he says literally broken. So it looks like we're going to have a little pause here while we get that mic sorted out. See if it's just that someone isn't experienced with the mod mic, or
magnets are hard. I mean, how do they even work?
I don't know. How do magnets work?
I don't know.
It's the secret of science and mystery.
ICP has been trying to figure that out for years.
Insane Clown Posse?
Yeah, you don't know the meme, the magnets, how do they work?
I thought that was a Breaking Bad thing.
I don't remember.
I might be confused on our memes.
Yeah, it's
an
definitely
ICP.
thing.
I guess I'm not as up on my Insane Clown Posse knowledge as Mark. I mean, secretly on the weekends.
I might be a juggalo. I might not be.
When he's not at events, Bach wears a very different face.
I go to the gatherings. You know, I dress up a little bit. No, definitely not my scene.
If you're watching this right now and someone comes up with a nice Photoshop of Mark in Insane Clown Posse makeup, tweet it at us. I will spread it as far and wide as I can.
Sweet. Sounds good. Now, we're still waiting for them to figure out what the issue is with the mic. I don't know what he did, if he just smacked it. I'm not really exactly sure. It looks like they're ready, though. So the admins helped out, and they've got it fixed. So we should be going live in a moment. The unpause should be coming through. So it'll be interesting to see what GOP does, given that they do have money to buy. You know, Neptune's already purchased his armor, but he hasn't actually bought his gun yet. They should have a pretty good buyout as well. I would expect to see AKs across the board. I don't think they're going to go with the glass cannon op. There's no reason to purchase it, especially when you're facing off against SMGs and a FAMAS. There's really no reason to put that kind of firepower on the board, nor surrender it.
Mauler or Wig's the only ones who could go for it. They still haven't bought, so unclear what's going to happen, but we are still in the pause. It seems Magister the one having issues. I see scuffed being typed. It's never a good sign. But hopefully it's going to be resolved in just a moment here, folks. Some discussion going on right now. I see they're fiddling with, is that Neptune's mic? A little discussion going on here. Powwow of sorts. What are you most looking forward to? What matchup, which teams are you keeping an eye on through this tournament, Mark? Whose story are you going to be following? It's a lot of thought.
I got to think. I'm going through the list of teams in my head to think about who it is that I want to see something from that I haven't already seen from them.
Storyline I want to talk about, a little exciting thing. For people who are familiar with the local scene, you probably have met or seen Hunter and Kilroy at some point, a duo that have been landing together for a long time now. And they've had a bit of a curse for a while, which is the complete inability to get out of groups. Well, last night they actually upset Accelerate Gaming, and I believe at this point they're out of groups. They're certainly in the winner's match, if not out of groups already. So going to be exciting to see Hollywood's Hooligans on the main stage, up on in the lights, under the lights on the stream. So that's exciting. They've broken the curse. We'll see how far they can take it. Now, as far as how far they can take it into apartments, they weren't expecting a second. Mala going to get traded out immediately. And at this point with the weaponry, that's not a bad idea for the CTs, especially as they deny presence towards B. 3 in mid, forward positions in mid as well, and 1 player playing Arch. It's going to get a little messy here. They've pushed for information in towards Palace, so that at least has been eliminated as a possibility as the Soaring Eagle nests in the Palace. He'll be able to give them a rude surprise as they come out Arch. It does look like Presence wants to come towards A. They're going to boost somebody in the window, and it's going to be Switch to see if he can deny this. Is he aware of it? He's definitely looking for it. Sees the smoke, is aware of the possibility. Now Scruffy and Switch going to duel off here. Around the corner, Switch takes the frag, and that's a big one. Ripped a prong off of the GOP approach. Now they're left grasping at straws, trying to figure out answers. They've got 2 players stuck in mid, but no real forward presence, nowhere to take this. And Penn State is fully aware of the possibility.
This is going to be almost impossible for GOP to get into this A-bomb site. With Soaring Eagle in Palace, all he has to do is just sit here and wait for the bomb plant. His job is to not die. Effectively, that's his only goal. But they do get that first kill coming in through jungle and a second to follow up, but this is the big problem, is this player up here in Palace waiting for the push to come through. He has to be patient, has to buy his time, wait for the bomb to come in. Now, depending on how they plant this, but it's probably going to go down default. He should be able to pick up the kill, and there you go. A little bit sloppy, but they are able to take the round. Potentially, there's the bomb, and there's the round. Okay, so it did get a little bit sloppy there towards the end. He probably could have walked his way out of Palace instead of running. Did give away an audio clue. They weren't really looking in that direction, so he might have been able to get both, take down the guy that's playing defense, kill the planner, give him the bomb, but take the round easily. Either way, it's Penn State's round to take. It's 3 in a row, and GOP is going to force a little bit. They go with the SMGs in the round. Penn State's going to have a pretty strong buy. AK double M4 FAMAS and an AWP as well in the hands of Soaring Eagle.
It's especially awkward because Neptune actually died a split second after the round timer. So he's got no cash. He's invested fully into this round with 1 smoke. And otherwise, just a Glock in hand. So it is going to be 4 SMGs trying to rock through, and they've just got so little to work with. Just a tiny bit of utility to try and get themselves out onto this B bomb site. Scav should feast in just a moment here. He's found the first. There's the lineup. Can't get more than 1. Actually 2, rather. Bomb will be planted, and they've actually traded out evenly, so not a bad result for the GOP supporters. Bomb down. It's about as much as they were probably expecting out of this round. And now they've got them locked out of bomb site, enough utility to hold them off for a moment. Gets a little bit awkward here for Penn State. This is really not a round you should be surrendering. Molly's being put to good effect. It's just bottling up time. It's slower and slower. They have to come through, and now they're blinded up. And it's confusion on site. Walking through smoke straight into crosshairs. Everyone's dropping, and it's come down to a 1v1. Dolphy and the Soaring Eagle, and Dolphy will win it out. That's an op retrieved as well. Round stolen away. GOP with the barest of buys going to scrape through the first round.
I think Scav kind of misread that situation. He's playing on balcony. He's expecting it to be probably an armorless pistol run in towards B, just a trash round to build up some money, try and get a bomb down if possible. So he gets that first kill, and then he wide peeks thinking he's going to spray down multiple. And then he's encountering players with armor, and there's also guns on the other side. So I don't think he really expected that level of firepower. He probably could have played it a little bit more patient in the end as well. So Penn State drops around, and because of the way the last 3 rounds played out, their money is kind of bottomed out a bit here. They're going to be on pistols and armor. Switch does have a FAMAS, but that's really not much when you match it against the AKs on the opposite side. Wiggs is going to be working a little bit lower with that MAC-10, and then there's also the Galil in play, which, depending on who you ask, may be better or worse than a FAMAS. There's the pistol in window. It'll be Magister taking the fight with Wiggs, who's sitting just underneath the window. They've got that op top mid as well from Neptune, who's trying to spot him. They're looking to spam him through the wall. That's the first shot into his leg. Can't find the second, but the team finally finishes off the damage. The first kill will go the way of GOP, but look at the damage dealt. Scruffy's on 6, and Wiggs is about 50%.
Scruffy a bit of a liability here. If he gives up that AK, it gets retrieved. That's a nice party favor for Penn State. He's going to toss it over. He'll take the MAC-10. as a player clinging to life, there's no sense throwing away a gun. And now they're going to group up. Looks like that hit is going to come towards B out of the apartments. It's just going to be Scav to try and defend. He didn't do so well. He did all right. I mean, traded out 2 last time, but this time all he's got at hand is a deagle, no utility. He's finally got support from a player in market, so it is going to be 2 deags rather than 1. Everyone knows 2 better than 1. But here the hit comes through. He's found the first, swinging, shooting, finds 1 more. Goes down eventually, but still good damage done. And they're not going to realize there's a second player here, but Scav can't capitalize off of it. Memorial with the good play, but ultimately the bomb will go down. At this point, the round should be over. Just the Soaring Eagle to see if he can do any damage. Retrieval rifle, get the heck out of Dodge.
Scav getting a little antsy there from the empty pillar, peeking out, knowing that they could be pushing towards bench and effectively spotting him from the backside. So he just takes a peek, hopes he can spot somebody, but he doesn't. It's 2 rounds in a row now for GOP. And we might have a tech pause coming in as well, as one of the players is claiming they have an issue with their
keyboard.
We'll see. It looks like they're going to play through, though. It is just going to be pistols coming in here from Penn State. 1 player buys armor. That'll be Memorial. And it's just going to be a straight-up push towards B. And the CT side stacks up and rushes top middle. They're going to have a pretty clear idea as to what's going on. If they were A at this point, they would hear the footsteps, they'd just run into A. So since they don't hear the footsteps, they could assume that it's going to be a B play. They've already sent a player towards Catwalk. They've spotted him. So the push back towards B is going to come through. I just don't know how much success it's going to produce. 1 kill for Switch with the P250. And now it'll be Scav left alone with the USP. He's still coming in on the flank. Might be able to take down Neptune, who's close. That would be a nice kill as it would drop the AWP, but the molly goes down and Neptune plays a better angle. Wow, a lot of damage dealt from just a lowly USP. Has to swap out to find a little bit more ammo to work with. There's that kill onto Neptune. Almost gets the follow-up as well. Mala on 4 HP, but they will be able to recover that AWP.
They've kept 3 alive in the last 2, so there's a little bit of cash buildup. Something we finally seeing in this. And on the other side, it's going to be the buy coming out. Memorial will be limited. But the rest of the team going to be up on rifles. Fair amount of utility to work with as well. See if they put it into effect. No head armor, but that's irrelevant. And tied scoreline here, 3-3. GOP having run up the previous 3 rounds. We'll see if they can continue their run. Continue to roll. Rock and roll. Neptune with that salvaged op. He's probably going to be looking for the opening pick, but it's actually aggression at the top of mid. That's Magister, who's all the way forward, and he's going to go ahead and take a duel. So he's denied space. Hasn't been able to find the pick as a result, but they're trading off here. Still, complete denial of the space to GOP. And what a tricky spot for Magister. Did they spot him going over the smoke? Oh, this could be dangerous. Neptune's looking at it. He has a good idea that someone's there. He smells them. And now he's ready for it. There's the molly. Forces him out of position, but Neptune can't hit the shot. Needs to be careful to not give himself away, as there's now 2 bodies looking his direction, but he is not afraid to back down from this encounter. And he's going to take 2 at the top of mid. A 3rd followed up by Scruffy lurking from the underpass. And now it's all going south for Penn State. At least 1 kill traded out, but there's no presence on the B-bomb site. The bomb's edging its way that direction. At this point, Scav and Soaring Eagle are just trying to get out of this with their guns intact. Bomb will go down in just a moment. We'll see how much GOP wants to hunt this. They're still being cautious to clear the site. Soaring Eagle does have presence. He could potentially do some damage if they start exploring towards market, but you've already got Dolphy exploring. He wants to hunt these guns out. He's sniffing like a bloodhound, hot on their trail.
I mean, it looks like right from the round setup here towards the end, before they had even planted, it was pretty obvious that Penn State was going to save, and Scav has moved his way all the way into apartments, or a palace, excuse me, over on the A bomb site. His teammate does die. So Penn State gets picked apart a little bit. I don't really like that mid play. You know, they get that mid control early. They have Magister pushed all the way up on Catwalk. He had a player at the bottom of connector, and I think they wanted to throw a flash to flash top mid, but he peeked first, then the flash came after, kind of blinded him as well. That smoke, probably should have just thrown the smoke and moved, because at that point, he's putting himself in such a tough position to play out of. He tried to play on the edge of that smoke, maybe looking for like a gap or a one-way, and in the end, he's just stranded in a really bad spot to be in.
That top, it's a great surprise play, but once the element of surprise is gone, what else do you got? An awkward position, a weird angle, nooks to hide in, and so they give up 2 on it. Now it's weird. Scav saved through, but everyone else with nothing to play on. A little bit of utility here on Scav. What can Penn State possibly hope to do if they run to the rifle and the rifle gets a multi-frag? Something. But the rifle's going to be holding towards the T-stairs, and now the first body falls. Scruffy blows by. Soaring Eagle about to presumably go down as well. He's just got a P250 to work with. We'll see what he can do in terms of pistolry. Bomb will be planted, and now the round should be just about over, and they're just probably going to try and save this rifle through. Rifle's just going to stick towards the apartments, and they'll throw the pistol bodies in towards sight, but I can't expect a lot of success. Dolphy, the only player who's vulnerable. Nade sending Memorial into his own Memorial. Sky high to oblivion, and now Scav just has to play hide and seek. It's the worst kind of hide and seek. If you get found, you cop a bullet.
Scav looking for a place to hide as the GOP takes yet another round. That'll be 5 in a row for them. And their early rounds, they weren't really that bad. The pistol could have been GOP's to take. Even the rounds that followed looked pretty promising at times. Then they finally brought it home with that force buy that came over towards the B site, and it's been all GOP since. Now, Penn State's got a strong buy coming in. Double AWP going to be put into play. A mild amount of desperation being applied here by Penn State. We'll see if it's enough to push them over the finish line and take the score to 4-5. Neptune will continue carrying the AWP for GOP. And it looks like he wants to go towards top mid and present a challenge there, but there's not going to be anything there. He pushes past the smoke, but that one AWP has actually moved all the way over towards Catwalk, running all the way up. And the second AWP is actually going to be on the A site, playing back behind triple. So they've got a good setup if they try to take mid control, but there's the first kill coming in from that mid AWP. He actually takes some bullets as he's dropped down to just 14 HP, but it's a kill nonetheless for the T side.
Player pushing out of apartments as well, and some presence towards A. It's a passive hold. Soaring Eagle's really going to have to hold the line here, especially as he's losing teammates, losing bodies. The hits come in, the bomb's coming through. Memorial's in an all-right spot, and he'll find the first. Memorial drawing focus as well. Might distract from the AWP on Soaring Eagle. I don't know if they're going to check this. They try and get the bomb planted. It could be a little awkward. He's still continuing to draw focus, just serving as a point of fascination for the T side, and he's staying alive as well, despite being completely surrounded. Still 50 seconds on the clock. They don't have to move quickly, and finally Memorial will be picked off from the jungle player. And now it's awkward. The two remaining players locked out towards CT. Smoke goes down. Soaring Eagle finds the first, but it may be too little too late. Molly's come in, and at this point they have to be considering the save. No utility to really get them through. Oh, a little bit. And now the move comes in. They're going to just go ahead and fight for the round. AWP is committed at this point. Soaring Eagle duck, dip, diving, dodging out, but he's sticking around. And now he's going to be encircled. Can he possibly hope to get away? They're funneling him back towards the site. There's the shot, missed duel both ways. Another chance for life here for Soaring Eagle, but he's got to get past the AWP crosshair of Neptune. He's got an AK on the other side and a bomb that's about to explode. And it's just a matter of time. He goes down, double AWP's retrieved. Why not for the T side? Get a free upgrade. And it's 6-3. The big investment buy from Penn State yields no fruit.
Another tough round for Penn State to take, as GOP has now doubled up their round total, and it's going to be pistols coming in for the CT side. It's not going to be pretty. It looks like they're going to be throwing away one of these AWPs. They don't really need the second one. They know it, so they'll just take the AK instead. And it's the right round to do it. Again, Penn State mirroring what they did in an eco round not that long ago, pushing towards top mid, sending the pistols out. Now the guys in B-apps have to be careful. They hopefully have someone watching the flank. Now the one thing is they didn't make any noise, and they've only sent one player towards B, so now the play is coming towards B, and there's only one guy here. It's Soaring Eagle, who has to play defense by himself. Nice kill coming in on the first. Despite the lack of armor, the Deagle comes up big for Soaring Eagle. Mala gets caught peeking towards the door. This round's falling apart. It's looking super sloppy for GOP. They do end up making things a little bit better for themselves, and they'll be able to get the bomb planted if they take the time to gather it up. But both players from the CT side coming in on the flank. The first one spotted by Neptune. And now it's all up to Scav. Moving in from the same spot. Might be able to take down the bomb. Catches Dolphy looking the opposite way, but can't deliver on the shot. It's 7-3 GOP. Again, this is a 7-round run. We haven't seen any action from Penn State in a while now.
Looked promising for a moment there. A little nice Deagle work on B site. but ultimately was all for naught. And at this point, doing economic damage really doesn't matter. Dolphy had 16K coming into the round, dropped some guns for his teammates, but they're comfortable. They're sitting pretty. They're looking nice. Double Op comes back out here. Switch and Soaring Eagle going to be porting the big green guns this time. We'll see if it has any different result.
That's the best round we've seen from Penn State since the first round they lost.
Oof.
Every other round, it's been at least 3 players alive for GOP. The first round they lost came down to a 1v1. Smoke does go down on Catwalk. Mid control right now for GOP has them pushed up to the bottom of Connector. On the other side is going to be Memorial with an M4, and he gets spotted, but ends up winning the fight. Bomb still sitting back towards top mid. That early kill coming in for Penn State gives them the man advantage.
Seems like Penn State's playing pretty scared right now. I mean, a lot more passive. They're not really taking angles, especially with that mid presence. Very passive hold on mid. It's working off so far, but here the kills start to fall. Neptune traded out. Dolphy still alive on Catwalk, and he's got the bomb on his back as well. Now it's going to be up to Scav to hold the line, and he will do so with the first. Immediately traded out, but now it's Mala all alone in a 1v2. He'll drop the smoke, but there's an op looking his way. Shot missed. Missed opportunity as well. Bomb can now be planted, but he's got to get it down quickly because otherwise he's going to start to be pressured from Catwalk, and the paranoia is creeping in. Mala's looking every which way, trying to figure out where he's going to be pressured from. And as a result, 30 seconds on the clock, and he still doesn't have that C4 down. Time is running out for him. Now he's in a 1v2, and they both got angle on him. They're taking 1v1s, though, but they'll eventually convert it to a kill. The double op can be retrieved. Switch looking for it, not going to get there fast enough. So the single op will be saved through, and Penn State are back on the board. 4th round secured. Only 2 alive, though, so now they're in that crucial point of trying to avoid the economic ruin, trying to avoid the reset late in the half.
I like the move there by Mala. It looked like he wanted to push into his own smoke and walk into market, potentially take down the market player. I'm not sure how much time was left on the clock at that point, but he might have been able to rotate over towards the A site, knowing that the other player is likely coming in from Catwalk or through apartments. Either way, GOP had tons of money to fall back on, so another buy does come in. It looks like they're just going to be setting up for a standard A execute. Switch will be the one in sight. He dies. The player peeking on the other side of the bench was Memorial, but he walked right into a molly and realized, you know what? This is not meant to be. He has to back off. Nice timing on the peek towards CT spawn for Scruffy as he catches one, trying to run in with knife out, and the last player, Soaring Eagle, is stuck inside the cubby. That nade might be enough. He's going for the knife, and he's going to get it. That's a lot of money coming in for Scruffy. Doesn't pick up the op, though. Whoops. Would have saved himself some extra cash if he had gone for it, but...
Nice little style points on the end.
Uh-oh, Spaghetti-O. I like the bind. Again, you guys can't see it, but we can.
Uh-oh, Spaghetti-O. So Scruffy putting the flare on at the end. Little blade work. Little flashy knife work. And now we've got a very broken buy from Penn State in the 13th round. We've got a scout on the Soaring Eagle and Deagles elsewhere. Now, they've done all right with their Deagles in previous rounds. We'll see if they can convert. Nade's going to come in to chunk away damage from Soaring Eagle, and he's not long for this world. Sent soaring skywards, he will rest until round number 14. Now, split defense. It's going to get awkward for Penn State. They've got very little to hold back the tide of T-side players that are going to come their way. Dolphy is low, so potentially a weak point, but the bodies are falling, and it's just a matter of time now. Bomb will be planted on A, still 5 players alive for the GOP, and it's just Scav and Magister to try and claw anything back with their pistols. Now just Scav. Scav alone. He is a scavenger, so maybe he will be able to find something here. But he's just going to go ahead and set up for the exit, see if he can steal away a rifle. And there is a very low player coming his direction. There's an AK. Now he's got to get the heck out of dodge. They are all coming his direction, and Wiggs will make short work of him. He had a dream. The dream was to escape with a rifle. The dream is now wiped on the back of the wall.
I think I figured out why Penn State is struggling here. Magister is currently at 1-13, and I'm not trying to point that out saying that that's the problem. The problem is he didn't add at LAN to his name. That's why. He's got online Counter-Strike playing at LAN right now, so he's 1-13. He's got to add at LAN. All of a sudden, things will turn around for him.
That's where the power comes from.
Now we see the phalanx set up here from Penn State as all 5 USPs go towards the window and start firing through the smoke. It's not going to produce any kind of success as the bullets just pelt the wall. Right now, everyone from GOP is playing passive, expecting a push, because we've seen it several times. Unfortunately, the one player that gets caught off guard is Scruffy. He's pulling out a smoke as they push in through underpass. So they're going to be heading in towards B with that AK. But T-side's going to be moving back towards the A site, and they've got pretty much free and clear control of that area. There's one in window. He dies. Soaring Eagles on site towards CT with that USP. They lost the AK. That was in Magister's hands. One more coming through, and Connector Scav should die, and he does. The last two now CT. The nade's going to land right in Soaring Eagle's lap. He's dead. It's up to Memorial to do a little bit more damage. Find a bit of carnage, but it's unlikely as now the pinch is in. The flashbang is perfect. My man is blind for days. It'll be the 10th round for GOP. Penn State just hasn't found anything as of yet. A little pandering to the camera there.
As soon as the guns came out, it was just over. It's been lights out since then. GOP not giving any quarter, not giving any relaxation. Scruffy going to be picking up the SG because why not? No op as well. Interesting pick here from GOP, but they're not really pressured or concerned at this point. He had a decoy too. Missed by. It's going to be a 5-man push in towards mid. They're just going for the gamble at this point. Penn State recognizing that desperate times calls for desperate measures. And in desperate times, Switch is going to come up big for his team. He finds a second in the smoke, actually. Switch with great damage. Now it's a retake situation, but they got to deal with Dolphy, and Dolphy is a wrecking crew on site. A one-man army will take down 3. Bomb will be planted at this point, and it's a 2-man retake from CT. Both have to pass the ticket booth. We'll see if they can get their tickets punched. There's the first. Scav making short work of the players on site. A second as well. Now it's a 1v1, and Dolphy is low. His previous work leaves him weakened and softened up. That nade not going to quite find its mark, but now it is a duel around the stairs, and he's looking the wrong direction. Scav did not spot the head peeking around the steps. He will be knocked, and Dolphy comes away with a 4K to wrap up the half with a nice 11 on the board for GOP.
I mean, that was impressive there from Dolphy. He gets the entry. He's low on HP. He jumps across the stairs, gets spotted by one, just kind of ducks down while he waits for the AK to come back out. Ends up winning that battle, catches another man at the bottom stairs going for a nade pull, and then ends up winning the 1v1 as well. Big half coming in from GOP as they take it 11-4 on the T side of Mirage. Penn State just never really got their footing. You know, they started out early. They win the pistol, but barely. You know, Neptune was still alive. Potentially could have won the pistol for his team. And then they, you know, scrapped together a few more rounds. They struggled even in those. Just looking at those rounds, you know, one player survives round 2. In round 3, time expires, but one player survives. And then in round 4, that was when we saw things spin in a different direction there.
It's a good moment here. We've got the scoreboard up. You can see his name. You don't often get to see his name. It's the other man who's responsible for this broadcast. It's Pythian Legume, our observer. So shout outs to Pythian. He's over there. He's giving us a nice wave. Check him out. He's the one bringing you all these sick angs. Nice shots. Crispy shots. We're going to take a moment here before we get into the second half just to give folks a little station identification. We are here at the N3rd Street Gamers Eastern Conference Championship. CSGO 10K, the Cougar CSGO 10K as presented by Linode. We've been here we both got in Friday towards the evening.
Yeah, I got in last night after trains and cars and shuttles. And
planes, trains, and automobiles?
Almost, no planes.
No planes.
I had trains and automobiles.
But we're all here now. The Dulles Convention Center in sunny Dulles, Virginia. It's actually been really rainy. It was like a swamp this morning. We walked out.
Yeah, and the Walmart was on fire last night.
So Walmart was on fire last night.
That was interesting. Filled with smoke.
It was across the lot, several fire trucks filled with smoke. It hasn't burned down yet, so we seem to be all right.
We had planned to go to Walmart to get juice boxes.
Juice boxes. Mm-hmm.
Just juice boxes.
Healthy.
And we couldn't get in. They said the fire had burned all the juice boxes. Either way, the pistol round is live. It's going to be Scruffy, Neptune, and Mala trying to defend us again. They look a little bit weaker in the pistol. Penn State with a solid bomb plant and going for a good post plant as well. Good flank coming in through CT as Magister's there to catch him from the backside. And that makes things so much harder. It will be all up to Scruffy. He's going to have to ace to win the round. There is just no way. My man is surrounded. So Penn State seemed to be able to pick up the pistols if only they could take that and just kind of push it in the direction of picking up a rifle round.
Well, particularly in a pistol, just the fact that they are a team and that they've coordinated and they're playing against a pug, you can get that little bit of extra preparation in knowing how a round's supposed to go, having set pistol strats that you've installed, even if they haven't necessarily been playing together this year for very long. There's the familiarity, and there the coordination team play can shine as opposed to, you know, when guns come out and individual skill and just hitting your shots can start to overwhelm. So GOP supporters, they've got a long lead to work with, 6 rounds. So they're comfortable. They've got the force up in the second, and it's going to be the push-up mid, something that Penn State has favored. Now we'll see how they deal with it being employed against them. Good early results, but now Soaring Eagle's struggling. He'll get 2 before being traded out, and Wiggs turns it into a 2-kill with a 5-7, putting the much-maligned pistol to work here at the top of mid. Those guns might be retrievable as well. Scav's going to stay around for a moment to defend them, but now he's backed off.
What year is it that we see someone get 2 kills with a 5-7?
It's making a comeback, I'm telling you. People are coming around to it. I know the CZ is ridiculously brokenly overpowered in most contexts, but I've been hearing some murmurs, some chatter.
I quote Fraud when I say, it's not a comeback, it's a homecoming. I mean, to be fair, it wasn't a pleasant homecoming for him, but the 5-7, it's not as bad as the Tech 9, I'll give you that. The Tech 9 is absolutely abysmal. Now the CT side with the pistols backing off, they did manage to find themselves an AK. Nice shot. Straight to the skull, just couldn't find a follow-up. So, I mean, a pretty good pistol round coming in from GOP. They walk away with an AK. 2 players survive, 3 kills. Solid pistol work. It's going to be another save, but they do have that AK. It's curious to see what they decide to do with it.
What's curious to me is that Scruffy immediately buys utility. Drops himself down to 1,000. I guess he's hoping to be able to convert enough kills in this round with the AK to compensate. You know, no reason to suspect him. He certainly stood up to the test so far. But now the hit's going to come in, and it's going to be a push on towards the A-bomb site. This is where the gamble stack is. The GOP, they've got heavy presence. This is a red state, one might say. And now the kills are coming out, but Scav and Magister standing strong, and all the bodies are falling. Scruffy now nearly the lone survivor. Neptune's still alive for a moment, and Scruffy's burning alive. Now just 12 HP, and he's got to get out of there. He's worming his way down the underpass, and away he will go. Sneaking, squirreling his way away.
So Magister just got burned by his own teammates, Molly.
Rough.
Insult to injury. Penn State looking like it's obviously going to be their round. Scruffy, though, trying to keep his AK if possible. He's now hiding in the cubby at the back of Team Mid. He'll peek out when he hears the footsteps. That's actually an upgrade as well for Switch. He'll swap the SMG out for that AK.
I just want to point something out on the board here. Magister, he may be struggling in the frags, but he's the designated assist player here. He's got 8 assists, I think.
Yeah.
He's top on the board in assists. Well,
so not getting kills, but doing good ADR.
Good ADR.
Good ADR.
Got to pad them stats. Pad them stats. Take them very low and don't take it over the line.
How much is it to get the assist? Isn't it like 45 damage, I think?
I think so. Sounds about right.
I forget on it. It's like, that's like the minutia of the game that no one cares to really know. It's like not important enough.
That is a crucial next-gen stat. He's also got 17 deaths, so he's been murdered in every round at this point. All but one.
All but one. Yeah, he survived 1 time. Now we had a pause come in. It looks like it's already ready to go. They're going to unpause, and we should be jumping back into the action. That 11-4 lead has gotten a little bit thinner, but it is going to be the first buy round, and look what Scruffy's decided to do. I'm guessing he's going to play in B-Apps, probably going to smoke it off and spam from the balcony. He's already heading in that direction. It's not actually that bad of a play. The problem is the tracers make it pretty easy to spot. Oh, they're going to head boost. Okay. Interesting setup over on B. I thought for a second he was just going to sit on his head and spray.
This is gonna be the hallway of absolute murder if they decide to go B. Neptune finding Magister in the underpass may force their hand. They've got heavy presence towards mid, but nothing looking towards A. And at this point, the Negev is perfectly positioned to absolutely rain on their parade.
Yeah, all I want to watch really, I don't care about what's happening anywhere else. I just want to see what's going to happen in B-Apps. Because you've got Scruffy on one side and you've got Switch on the other. And Scruffy's just waiting in this bizarre position to have a Negev in. And now there's more players kind of joining them. So the bomb has made its way towards B-Apps.
Oh, it's going to happen.
There's a flashbang coming in just to slow them down. Scruffy doesn't peek. He's holding right now. I'm waiting for it. Again,
we need to watch Scruffy. We need to watch Scruffy's perspective here.
I really want to see what's going to occur. Negev around the corner. There's the first one for him. He's going to get the second as well. Almost picks up the third. He went for it. But they are able to get the sight control after all. Neptune struggling with the jump into the window. There you go. And now the retake is on. It's going to be a 3-on-2. The player on site's been spotted. They know the other one was in underpass, so he's going to be B apartments. That allows Neptune to move his way up catwalk nice and quick. And Memorial's playing right around the corner. Should be spotted, but no peek coming in there on it. And there's the utility to try to pull him out of position. It's an easy kill, and the bomb will be picked up as well. Solid play within Negev.
Solid play. Great positioning, tactical awareness. You know, Valve wants that to come back into the game. They want that to be the support weapon or the suppressing fire weapon. I don't know if they really intend it to be used as a corner ambush weapon, but hey, it works out. Sprays down 2, nearly finds the third. And he doesn't go back to it. A little disappointed here, Scruffy. Commit. It's going to be the MP9 instead. So a couple of SMGs, rifles elsewhere. Soaring Eagle going to be picking up the AWP, the lone AWP on the server, the big green gun. We'll see if he can put it to good effect here. And he's going to be sort of hesitating. Outside of the A-bomb site. Now the hit comes in through the utility. They go. Flash is flying. Smokes down, and it is a passive hold here from GOP, so they will allow the bomb plant before the retake comes in, but Wiggs just sprang through the smoke, doing tremendous damage. We'll find another. Bomb is down, so that's a silver lining here, but now they got to lick their wounds and try and stay alive here. Penn State withdrawing, and Scav already down to about half. They've got a player coming in through the palace, and there's the AWP out of play. It's all falling apart here for Penn State. They've only managed to take one scalp in the process. Scav follows it up, and another standing strong, but he's the only one doing work on his team right now. Switch needs to have some impact. He may not even get to the bomb before it's defused.
Yeah, they went with the default plant spot and switches over towards A-ramp. There's really not a way to win that round. Probably could have waited for the flank to come in through Palace before challenging top stairs. Probably didn't need to smoke it off either. So they smoke it off while their player's coming through. He decides to charge through it with dualies, which just kind of showcases the confidence right now from GOP. They're not really concerned. They knew, quote unquote, that they were going to win that round. It did get a little scary for a moment, but they do end up taking it. And now the money for Penn State is completely gone. It's going to be down to pistols. Only 2 players picking up armor. It should be a 14th round here for GOP unless they really bungle the round.
On the subject of unorthodox buys, which has been Scruffy for a little while now, he goes for the glass cannon AWP at an eco round. Bold. Very bold. Where's he actually going to be playing with it? He's number 7, sticking around in window. We'll see what he can do. It's going to be a pop out of Palace. You got 4 players coming this way. The waterfall approach, just flow out and see what you can get done. There are 2 players back towards CT, hanging out by ticket. So they're going to have a pretty good lineup on these players coming outside of Palace, but Magistrate is just trying to distract focus, and that's exactly what they wanted. Now the flood comes in. They'll find the first. Neptune gets himself a nice collat shot and hits the third, and Neptune, it's all him, all the Neptune show as he walks away with 4. Nice collateral.
Scruffy even picked up the last one there as he got close trying to wrap around through jungle. 14-7. Penn State have their backs against the wall a little bit here. If they lose this one, they'll be down 15-7 with 4 rounds of loss bonus. Is that Neptune, the trick shot legend? Scruffy asks in chat.
One of the things about this is it's a 7-14, but honestly it feels more one-sided than that because basically Penn State have been able to convert the pistol rounds and nothing else. So they get through on the pistol rounds, and that's wonderful. And then guns come out, and it's just a different ball game. Magister, though, catches Dolphy's head peeking above the smoke, and there's the first. Now it's going to be the boost into window. They might be able to catch somebody off here. That would be Mala as the next to potentially fall. I don't know if he realizes how far forward Magister is. There's the peek, but the nade is out. Mala is going to get punished, so that's 2 bodies fallen, and Penn State finally looking like they have a round with advantage. Now they just need to be able to convert it, but Neptune and Scruffy have already brought the kills back. It's all falling apart once more. Penn State unable to decisively convert, but now it's just Wiggs. Wiggs in a 1v2. The bomb's rotating. They'll at least get a plant out of this because there's nothing to be afraid of over on the B bomb site. But Wiggs is going to start to wrap his approach around. He's still got distracted focus, and there's the kill. It's a 1v1 now. From a 5v3, to a 3v1 to a 1v1. Wiggs has brought it back. He's clawing his way into this 7-14 now. And Wiggs is trying to put that map point on the board. Scav with a little bit of the distraction smoke, but Wiggs is privy to the possibility. He's going to get sprayed down coming out of the window. Had to pick his poison of which direction he wanted to look, and he chose poorly. So finally another round picked up here for Penn State. They've got their 8th on the board. They've got something to work with here.
I honestly looked at that round and thought Wiggs was still going to take it. I thought he was just going to rush towards B, catch him as he dropped into sight, and then be able to play the bomb from inside sight instead of playing from market on his way back in, effectively not giving his opponent a chance to retreat or change positions. Instead, GOP going to be going in with a bit of an unorthodox buy. A glass cannon, an M4 with utility, and then pistols on the rest. If you were Penn State and you lost this round, you'd definitely be disappointed. That is one of the few rifle rounds we've seen Penn State win as well.
I think it's the second.
It is. It's the second rifle round only that we've seen them really win. Now Scruffy will be able to spot switch as he pushes in towards market. 2 kills coming in now in that direction. Neptune, Mala, and Wiggs. There's the op from Neptune. I guess they just didn't anticipate that there was one more in that position. A little bit peculiar, to say the least. The flank coming in from Scav does take down Wiggs, who's over in apartments. And the round gets that much harder as a result. Molly's going to go in towards Apps, effectively cordoning off that area, but in the end, it will still be their round to take. 14-9, Penn State's not willing to give up just yet.
Some decent damage as well, and now it's only a 5-round lead. Some of these trollier buys, I guess I would say, may come back to haunt the GOP a little bit. They're going to have to take an eco here, which is the first time I think they've taken a full eco in a while, in a very, very long time. So we'll see what they can get done with just bare pistols. Nothing to work with, really. A single flash and P250s. Looks like they're just going to go for the stack, flash themselves in. Here it comes, and it's just the mid-peak with the pistols, just looking for all that damage, all that meaty, meaty damage. And there are players here. There are players who could potentially get caught out. It's Magister, who's got players falling on his head. It's raining men, but Magister, he's got himself an umbrella made of bullets. And Dolphy and Mala will be the only ones to walk away from that encounter. Now just Mala alive on catwalk, and not for long, as he'll catch a bullet from range. And it is going to be 10 rounds for Penn State. They've made this certainly respectable. And now the buy will come back out for GOP, and you have to imagine they're going to play this a little more cautiously, a little more traditionally, now that they're finding themselves threatened. Scruffy, 24-17, has had himself a monstrous CT half. He was actually, I think, one of the underperforming in the first. So he's really been putting it into work on the second half. Now Neptune, speaking of putting in work, is going to find 3 on site. He's still around. They're still present. He's looking for more scalps, and they're trying to get around on him, but there's the 4th. Can he get the ace? Neptune with the up. He's got Magister dead to rights, but it's Mala to find the kill. 4K for Neptune to hold the site and get the GOP towards their 15th round. It is map and match point here, and Penn State, they need to go into their bag of tricks.
So a fun thing with Panorama, don't trust that. That's not right.
It's pure lies?
Yeah.
Oh, it still gets me.
Yeah,
I even know it's
20
pure
and
lies.
20. Neptune's 28-13. He was the one whose score you were actually seeing. These numbers are not accurate. For whatever reason, I don't understand why it does that. But, hey, it's out of beta.
Thanks, Valve.
Yeah. And Neptune with another big shot to get things started. He's 1 kill away from crossing 30. The Molly allowing him to retreat as he gets prepared to change positions. Dolphy's on catwalk with the FAMAS. The bomb is still sitting back towards top mid. There's one in underpass with just a lowly MAC-10 that's Magister. Right now, Penn State's kind of just burning clock, trying to figure out if they can spot a player from GOP, get any kind of inkling of what the setup might be. Scruffy again goes back to the Negev. We saw him pick up 2 kills on B balcony with the Negev. We'll see if he can do a little bit more from underneath the balcony this time.
He's just theory crafting now. He's just trying to see what spots he can accurately play the Negev from. How many different spots on this map can he get a multi-kill with a Negev from? It's the real question right now. And fortunately for us, for our entertainment value, for science, indeed, it does seem like Penn State wants to head this direction. They're going to give us an opportunity to see if the Negev can be put into effect. Molly's come through. They're not going to Molly under balcony, though. And here's the check, and he's got support as well, so this focus is distracted. He'll get nothing. Negev not working out. The laser beam misses its mark. And now Magister, last alive, has himself at least an AK to work with. He does not have any control of the bomb, however, and he's going to have to work his way back in with a single HE for utility. HE goes out. It's gone. Now he's just got to rely on his wits and his bullets. And unfortunately, they are not finding their mark. Only 12 seconds, and he's stalling. There's just no time. He's not even going to be able to get to site, get the bomb, and plant. So this game is over, ladies and gentlemen. Magister just trying to get a last frag, and he'll do so before burning alive in the fires of his passion. And GOP take it comfortably.
Yeah, I mean, the scoreline indicates that it's a lot closer than it really was.
Yeah.
You know, the rounds that Penn State was winning, they won 6 rounds just off the pistol. And then they won 1 buy round in the first and a few buy rounds in the second half. So they did do a little bit better on their T side in the second half, but their CT side left a lot to be desired. So it was a little bit disappointing from Penn State's side. GOP just looked like the stronger team.
Absolutely. It's kind of like watching a cat who's got a morsel, and it'll sort of let it try and escape, and then just catch it again. Sort of let it get away, catch it again. Was that a weird enough metaphor for you?
I'll give it to you. It's better than Scrawny's beating a dead dog thing. That was... Have you not heard?
I think I've seen that clip.
You've not heard the beating a dead dog Scrawny thing?
No,
According
we're going to have to look
Scrawny,
that up after this.
The phrase is not beating a dead horse, it's beating a dead dog.
Is that a French thing?
I don't know.
French-Canadian thing?
No, because I've asked other people from Canada, French-Canadian and not, and they all say the same thing. That is not a saying.
Well then. All right, Scrawny, we're going to have to get you some help. But...